Hi, this video is a follow-up to one I posted 2 weeks ago about my Ultralight sketching kit. So to get the most out of this one, you might want to go back and watch that first. Or, you know, you could just stick around with me here and get straight into this one. I don't mind. What's today's video about, you may ask? So, my Ultralight sketching kit is 44 grams. That's pretty light. But I'm not like the biggest ultralight nerd in the world. So once I'd optimized what I wanted in my kit, I stopped. I didn't try to make it any lighter. But I've had this thought in the back of my head, well, what if I did? Essentially, what I'm saying is today we're taking it to the extreme. We're taking it to ridiculous levels. My sketching kit is already 44 grams. That's already ridiculously light. So we are going to see, just by optimizing every single part for weight consideration, can I get it significantly lighter? Is it worthwhile doing? You may be watching this and thinking, well, I don't take sketching stuff on my hikes. This isn't really relevant to the equipment I need. And that's fair. But what I'm hoping this video will do is maybe point toward a methodology that can be used in other areas of your pack and answer that question of, is it worth getting ridiculous about saving weight? See you on the other side. To complete this challenge, I'm taking it piece by piece, looking to see if each element can be made lighter and how to go about that. I'm going to start with the pen, pencil and paintbrush. I don't think I can get any lighter than this without sacrificing functionality. This was adapted from an old first aid kit. It uses quite light nylon and it has an extremely light grade zip. Not the like most amazing quality, but for like this function, it's plenty. I thought I'd have a go at just kind of remaking it in a different material and seeing if I could get it any lighter. My initial attempt was to make it in Tyvek. Here's my Tyvek version of the pouch. Here's a couple of things I like about it. I moved the zipper to the very top. That's quite nice because you can still get into everything even though this is a slightly stiffer material. However, the gauge of zip that I used is a lot heavier than what's on this. And remember, this is adapted from an old first aid kit. So making the same pouch again in a slightly different material didn't work, made it a bit heavier. So when it comes down to it, this pouch is already pretty much optimal. Most of the weight is in that zip and there's no real way to make that lighter. Except, what if the zip ran along the short edge? So that means there's less zip, that means there's less weight. That's just what I did. And here is the new pouch, exactly the same dimensions. Actually, it's a little bit wider just for ease. And there we go, the zip on the short edge, and we've saved a tiny bit of weight there. Next up is the paints and palette. So this is something I bought from the internet. It's got a magnet closure, it's very satisfying, and it's got 8 wells for paint, which you have to fill with your own paint. And, you know, it's pretty good. It's functional. The this part of it, the mixing palette side, isn't that great, to be honest. And it is heavy because it's, you know, it's a block of wood. So that weighs quite a bit. I thought there was something I could do there. I came up with a novel solution, and it's one of these. This is a kids watercolor set, such as you would find like in a party bag. So they're sold as party favors for just like a couple of quid. The downside is the paint included inside is terrible quality, as you might imagine. So I dug that out, and just like you have to do with this one, I refilled those wells with decent quality watercolor paint. And when you refill it with decent quality paint, it looks like that, and you save a lot of weight compared to the wooden one. And what's more, this is much bigger area to mix colours in. There's a ridge here, so you can actually separate and work on a couple of different things at the same time. I think that's going to be better for mixing colour. And the lid comes off entirely. You can separate them, so there's no loss in functionality. I have managed to save a decent amount of weight. I've got no loss in functionality. I've got more space to mix colours in, and I can fit more paint into these wells than I can with this one. So I feel like it's improved all ways round and saved a significant amount of weight. Next up is the ruler. Now this is already cut down to 10 centimeters. I don't want to lose much more from that, but I do work on quite small pieces of paper. I don't need 10 centimeters. I'm going to give myself 9. So we're going to cut a whole centimeter off our ruler. And I had a look around and actually found a notebook that has a very thin plastic cover with a ruler along the edge. And I've cut that off because it's much lighter plastic, and I've ended up with a ruler that looks like this. So this notebook was actually kind of like a giveaway on a stall, and so didn't cost me anything. We've saved a ton of weight, and we've still got 9 centimeters on our ruler. The eraser, or rubber if you're from the UK, this is already quite small, but I figured I could go a bit smaller without losing functionality, especially because my drawings are quite small anyway. And I've halved the size. I don't want to go any smaller than that, else it's just going to kind of disappear after 1 or 2 uses. But yeah, that's going to last a nice long while still with the way that I draw. Happy with that. With all our changes added together, we end up with a final weight of 33 grams. Our starting weight, which was already pretty light, was 44 grams. So we've made a 25% weight saving. That's incredible. And 25% sounds like a lot, but remember, we're talking 11 grams. It's hardly anything. I'm not going to feel the difference in my pack. That's not what this was about. It was about the experiment. And I guess by applying the same kind of rigor to other elements of the pack and finding those little weight savings, we've proved that it all adds up. So, what do you think now all is said and done? Was it worth doing that? I saved 25%. 25% is only 11 grams. Was it worthwhile? Was it a waste of time? Did you enjoy the video? Let me know the answer to all these questions and less down in the comments.